This is the story of a small village where an old house stood, surrounded by countless tales. It was said that the house had once been magnificent, but now it was desolate and crumbling. The villagers called it the haunted house and avoided it at all costs. However, one day, a brave young man named Adifier decided to uncover the mysteries of the house. Adifier had always been drawn to the house. The villagers tried their best to scare him, but their warnings had no effect. One evening, Adifier reached the house alone. The winds were howling, and through the broken windows, shadows seemed to flicker in the darkness. Gathering his courage, Adifier stepped inside. As soon as he entered, he felt a chilling cold. The walls were covered in cobwebs, and the floor was littered with debris. Strange whispers echoed through the darkness, though no one was in sight. His attention was drawn to an old portrait on the wall. The painting depicted a family, and their eyes seemed to follow him. Adifier moved closer to inspect the painting, but he suddenly felt as though someone was watching him from behind. He turned sharply, but there was no one there. His heart raced, but he pressed on, determined to explore further. Inside, the house grew even eerier. Doors creaked open and shut on their own, and an icy wind seemed to flow through the rooms. Suddenly, he heard a faint ticking sound, like that of an old clock. Adifier followed the sound, his heartbeat quickening with each step. He finally arrived in a dark room from where the ticking was coming. Switching on his flashlight, he saw an ancient clock in a corner, its pendulum moving on its own. The sound of the clock reverberated in the silent room, as though some unseen force had set it in motion. Resolute, Adifier decided to approach the clock. As soon as he touched it, the ticking stopped, and the house seemed to come alive. Unsettling noises echoed from the walls, and something stirred behind him. Turning quickly, he saw faint, ghostly shapes emerging on the walls. The shapes grew clearer and seemed to move toward him, as if intent on trapping him. Adifier panicked and ran, but the doors of the house slammed shut, blocking his escape. Cornered in the room, the ghostly figures surrounded him, their presence suffocating. They appeared to be trying to communicate, but their words were inaudible to him. Finally, a deep, mysterious voice resonated through the room. It was the voice of the house's original owner. "You have stepped into our domain. Now, you will remain here forever," the voice declared. Adifier's fear reached its peak as he realized he could not escape. The walls of the house began to close in, trapping him inside. Adifier fought with all his strength, but the house had claimed him. Within moments, the house fell silent. The next morning, when the villagers ventured near the house, they found no sign of Adifier. However, through the windows, they noticed the old portrait on the wall. Strangely, it now featured a new face, Adifier's. The house had grown even more sinister and mysterious. The villagers whispered that Adifier's soul now resided in the house, and that anyone who dared to enter would meet the same fate.